What if I told you that you could start a legitimate career that pays you up to six figures, has built in job security, and you don't need a college degree? And what if I told you that people desperately needed this service and they need it every single year, year after year? Well, that career is tax preparation. And today, I'm going to show you exactly why this is the perfect opportunity that you've been looking for. Welcome to my channel. My name is Shantae Knowles, and if you are looking for ways to build income and create financial freedom for yourself and your family, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving deep into tax preparation as a career, and I'm going to break down everything you need to know to get started, even if you have zero experience. All right, so let's start with the elephant in the room. What most people think about when they think about tax preparation is most people think about tax preparers making minimum wage, working at H&R Block, Jackson Hewitt, but here's what they don't tell you is that is just the entry point. The tax preparation industry is massive, okay? We're talking about $13 billion industry, and it serves over 150 million taxpayers every single year, right? So that is a huge market. And here's the kicker. There's always demand because taxes aren't going anywhere. So professional tax preparers can earn anywhere from like $25 an hour if you work for someone, or you can work for yourself or work under someone, which I do advise if you're new or you're a beginner preparer. But you can work from $25 all the way up to $75 per hour for experienced preparers. If you start your own practice, six figures is absolutely possible. So here's where it gets interesting. Unlike most careers that pay well, tax preparation doesn't require a college degree. What it requires is knowledge, certification, and skills, all of which you can learn. So here's what you actually need. You need to complete a tax preparation course just to get a solid fundamental foundation of an understanding of basic tax preparation, which I'm going to offer more about that in this video. Then you need to pass the IRS certification exam and then get your PTIN. That's it. You're in business. The total investment for that can be under $1,000 depending on what course you choose, with just a few months of studying. Now, compare that to a college degree that costs tens of thousands of dollars each year and takes 4 years. You're light years ahead with learning tax preparation because the IRS doesn't care where you went to school or if you went to school. They just want to make sure that you understand the tax law and they can get back to you if something happens with the taxpayer and that you can prepare accurate returns, period. So what is the income potential? Let's talk money because I know that's what you really want to know. All right, so here's the breakdown. So if you're starting out and you're a new beginner tax preparer, potentially, realistically, you want to work for someone. You don't want to go out in business under yourself. You do want to work under someone. So typically for beginner preparers, you do want to get experience and work under someone. Beginner preparers make a lot of mistakes, and it can be very detrimental to your client if you're not being supervised and no one is reviewing the returns that you submit. So it could cause you or the preparer a lot of damage. So you do want to work under someone for your first year. Typically for new preparers, beginner preparers, it's not an hourly rate for most tax returns. It's usually if you work with an independent firm outside of H&R Block or those chain firms, it's usually either a flat rate. So let's say the firm charge $300 per return, you may get $75, or you could do a percentage depending on the type of return that the firms prepare. You can get a percentage. So usually it's like 70-30%. Sometimes it's 20%. But 70-30% is typical. And the hours that you work is part-time, so it's a seasonal job. So you just want to kind of jump in, just kind of get experience, get your feet wet, just kind of see what you're doing. And it's good for learning the ropes. Now, for experienced preparer, after you've got about 2 or 3 years, 2 or 3 tax seasons under your belt, then what you can do is you can either do you'll probably get like a 60-40. So what'll happen if you're still working for the firm, it'll probably be like a 60-40 split. Or sometimes it can be 50-50. Sometimes you can partner up with a preparer or an accountant or something like that, and they're the rainmaker. You're the preparer, and you guys split 50-50. Or it could be vice versa. You can also open up your own firm and charge, $300 to $500 for just simple basic returns, just to keep continuing learning. And You can also create some year-round opportunities with business clients and things like that. Also, after about year 4 or 5, most people start looking into getting their own practice. Sometimes a little sooner, just depending on your background. But you can start maybe opening your own practices, or you're opening up your own firm, and from there, most people charge for simple returns about $300 to $500, and for complex returns, typically about 500 to 1,000 returns, like rental properties, Schedule E's, Schedule C's, things like that. S corps can be a little bit higher, partnerships a little higher, and the potential for your own business, could really be about 50 to $200,000 realistically within your first few years. So here's what most people don't think about: that tax preparation is recession proof. When the economy crashes, people still need to file taxes. Actually, they need help even more with taxes because the government is issuing money, and all kind of things are going on. Unemployment, people have different situations. So, the tax preparation industry is really recession proof. During COVID, while other industries collapsed, tax preparers stayed busy. During recessions, while other businesses closed, tax offices were booming, okay? And it's one of the most stable career paths that you can choose. Okay, so if I've convinced you this much, it's worth exploring, right? So here's your exact roadmap. Step one, you want to get educated. You want to take a prax you want to take a tax preparer course, which I'm offering. I have a tax preparer course because I feel like it's my duty to give back to the industry and train preparers how to file accurate tax returns the right way and make a legitimate business out of it. More on that in a minute. But also, you want to study what tax software you're going to use, and you want to just choose affordable tax software. And you also want to learn both your federal and state tax laws. Okay. So step two, you want to get certified. You want to make sure that you pass the IRS competency exam. And you also want to get your PTIN and find you someone to work on this. Not time to get an EFIN right now. If you're a beginner, do not get an EFIN. And step three is to gain experience. Start working under someone. Find some preparers that you can work for. Look up jobs on LinkedIn or Indeed who's hiring for preparers, and just be prepared to. You're not gonna learn without doing, so you have to do it. So just be prepared to take a pay cut and work under someone. Just kind of take it slow, but also I'm not saying that you can't make money your first year, because you absolutely can, depending on what type of arrangement you worked out. I'm just being conservative in this video, but you can make money in your first year, but it does depend on who you're working with. Okay. That 70-30% split is really ideal because you get to get your feet wet. It's better. A lot of people, doctors, dentists, you have to intern and learn the job before you actually get well at doing the job. So it's kind of like an intern, but you're getting paid. So you have to treat it like that. Okay. So once you've got educated, got certified, gained experience, you can even volunteer for VITA. There are a lot of tax programs in different cities, or VITA, and you can also shadow again some experienced preparers and just build your skills. Educate yourself about tax law. You'll start to get different client scenarios and things like that, and you'll just be challenged on how to solve them. All right. So the thing that I recommend is that you specialize in a niche. And then step five is you want to scale up. Go independent or start your own practice. Once you've built the client base, people love what you do. They tell their family and friends about you. Then you can add year-round services. So the downside, being completely honest, is there are challenges. It's seasonal work, so you don't work all year. You have to expand your services to work all year. Tax season is intense. There are long hours, there are stressed clients. It has gotten better with technology. Back in the day, people would call tax offices all day long. Now, with technology, your clients can check where their refunds are. If they're getting refunds, they can email you, they can text you. There are client portals that you can communicate with back and forth in client chats. So it doesn't have to be that intense, just depends on how you set up your operations. But another downside is you're dealing with people's money. Like I mentioned earlier, you're dealing with people's money and the IRS. So you can upset potentially The IRS, where you get in trouble and get fined, or your clients and you get them in trouble and get fined. So that's a lot of pressure. There's also continuing education requirements every year. And the worst part is there's competition from service providers who are supposed to be in business for us, but they also compete with the industry. And that's companies like TurboTax and Intuit. But a lot of times we get a lot of clients from TurboTax that they can't figure out how to navigate TurboTax, and they're not sure if they're doing it right. So that's the good thing about TurboTax. But here's the thing though, every career has downsides, so don't let that discourage you. The question is whether the benefits outweigh them for you. I know some of you are thinking, this sounds great, but where do I actually start? I'm hosting a free workshop called Tax Preparation 101. And in this workshop, we're going to cover exactly what you need to do to get started in tax preparation. What it really takes to succeed. This isn't going to be some generic overview. I'm going to share with you the exact system that I've developed to help people go from zero experience to owning their own tax business. You can register. Now, I'm going to share with you the exact system that I've developed to help my mentees go from zero experience to owning their own tax business. And in between, working with someone, working under someone, working with me. But I'm going to share with you how I'm able to teach them and train them how to do tax preparation. And if you can't make the live workshop, no worries. I've also created a free guide that you can get just in case this video has aired or this video has passed and we've already done the workshop. I still want to help you. I got something for you. I got you covered. I have a tax preparation starter kit. So I want you to download, it's in the description box, the Tax Prep Career Starter Kit. And it's going to break down everything you need to know to get started, including the biggest mistakes people make when choosing their training. Again, it's totally free. It's in the description, right? So click on that. And if you found this helpful, that's all I got for today. If you found this helpful, smash that like button and subscribe for more content about building real income and creating financial freedom. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video where we'll dive deeper into building your business empire one smart decision at a time.